So, welcome everybody to our regular Thinking Thursday. And today we have Shruti, who's going to be speaking, and she's going to be speaking on belief and change, and how beliefs are created, and how we can change, um, how we can bring about change in our lives. Shruti has been an independent therapist, a training consultant, and an anchor and moderator. She manages and anchors knowledge based conferences, example, the Week magazine, corporate seminars, and business symposium in the areas of organization, initiatives, arts, and cultures. As a novice therapist, helps heal blocks at the subconscious level, which empowers to live in self awareness and acceptance using various modalities, primarily neurolinguistic programming and serenity surrender. She has had 13 years of experience in the corporates, having worked for companies like GE, IBM, Daksh, Tech Mahindra, Sapient in the learning and development function. Has trained more than 15,000 participants nationally and internationally on various programs ranging from communication to soft skills to behavioral and leadership programs. In her last company, she was the lead learning facilitator handling India and APAC, Asia Pacific region, Australia, China, and Singapore. I just want to say that Shruti is an enthusiastic learner. She's been on our Thinking Thursday, I think, every time, and she's asked some of the most pertinent and wise questions. So I also like the fact that she has a taste for finer things in life. She loves interior designing, is very spiritual, a dancer, a learner, and of course, a traveler. So I think she has traveled many lifetimes because of the wisdom that she holds, and I hope she's going to share all that today with us. So welcome, Shruti.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that introduction. And I hope so that I'm able to bring in some value, not just for everybody here, but for myself as well. Like you rightly said, we've traveled so many lives to be here finally. Okay, ma'am, one request before I start. I have a little presentation also.
Yes, of
so
course.
If you can make me the host, then I'll be able to share it.
Yes, of course. I'll make you the host.
Yeah.
I'm also I'll make you the co-host. As a co-host, you can share the presentation.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry,
just
co-host.
Because people will be coming in and all that. So
right. I meant co-host, but it came across as host.
That's okay.
And another thing, I just wanted to check about my volume. Is that audible to everyone?
Yes.
You can give a thumbs up, else I'll increase my volume. Oh, great. So I can be at ease.
Yeah. Just check whether you can present or not, please.
Okay, let me just check that. I'm going to start sharing the screen, and that will give me an idea. Yes, I can. Okay.
So correct. I'm going to make the speaker view so it becomes easier for all of us to focus.
Okay. And I would start, first of all, hi everyone. I hope many of us were part of a beautiful program which started. I couldn't be part of it. I'm also, just like Umaji, looking forward to the next one. So I'm going to share the PowerPoint presentation, and that's how we can get started. I hope everyone can see it. There could be times I may not be able to look at the full screen. I'm trying to see if I can look at the participants as well. Let's start this. Okay. All right. So like ma'am gave the introduction that today we would be talking about belief, and we'll understand what belief is and look at how powerful that is. I mean, it is powerful, but it all depends on us. How can we use it as a power to bring in more joy, happiness in our own lives? So before I get started, I'm going to give you a roadmap. And ma'am, I'm going to check with you. How much time do I have? Do I have time till 9? Or would there be a little extension so that I can go
Yes,
with?
absolutely, Shruti. I think till 9:15.
Okay, so I do have an hour. Great, thank you. So in the next 1 hour, I'll just give you an idea as to what we'll cover, because belief is like an ocean. We can go on and talk about it, explore. So the scope of today's session would be just understand where it comes from, what is it, how can we find it, and then how can we look at, let's say, 1 or 2 examples. If time permits, we can go further, deeper into it. How can we use it to empower our lives? So I'll be covering conscious and subconscious mind just a little, touching upon it, because it's important to understand belief. And understanding belief at a very basic level. How is belief related to our behavior? That's what we're going to look at next. And then how to find a core belief, ways to change belief, which will help us empower ourselves, and then Q&A in the end, maybe 10-15 minutes. I'll keep it for question and answer. Having said that, I'm open to people asking me to pause if something is not clear. I'm happy to pause and explain, because it's all linked. I don't want you to lose the rest of the session. The only thing would be maybe just unmute yourself, because I can't see everybody. So just unmute yourself and you can ask a question. Okay. Let's understand conscious and subconscious mind. How many of us understand the conscious and the subconscious? I think many of us here, considering that, we are Shrutee ma'am's group. And just like the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is what the conscious mind is. So what we see, we all know in the iceberg, what we see is like tiny little bit. It's like 7% or 10% of what's really beneath. And what is deep inside is subconscious mind. So what is the conscious mind? Conscious mind is what we think, what we can see, what we can process. It helps us, it's a very analytical, some people also call it a left brain orientation, where everything is structured, disciplined. That's the part which is the conscious mind. And the subconscious mind is where all our dreams, our imagination, our patterns, our relations, most importantly, our emotions get stored. It is a storehouse of long-term memory. So, we are all souls who've traveled so far to be in this costume, like the present costume. So where is that all the information stored? It's in the subconscious mind. And that's why, what ma'am does, apart from so many things, we all know she does past life regression. What are we doing? We're getting inside the subconscious of our brain, so we can access all those information from our previous lifetimes. Now, the most important part here is the tip of the iceberg is conscious, which means what? It's the 10%. The tiny little 10% where we sometimes get so stuck. I know this is how it is. It can only be done like this. I want it this way, is conscious mind. And the major part, 90%, I mean, this may be a ballpark figure. I'll say 12% is conscious, 80%, it doesn't really matter, but a major chunk is 90% comes from a subconscious mind. So now, whatever I've spoken about, let me just show you in the next slide so that it registers a little more. So conscious mind, analytical. Can everyone read clearly? Or do I need to increase the font? Okay. I saw a few thumbs up. So it thinks, it plans, has short-term memory. We're able to remember a lot of things from this lifetime, sometimes childhood, otherwise we are so blank. But the moment we dig into our subconscious mind, there are so many memories which we consciously feel, I don't remember. But the moment you're taken into a session, any form of therapy session which taps into the subconscious, we suddenly remember and we're like, oh, I did it. I'd forgotten about it. But it's there. Everything is registered. So like I shared, subconscious mind is emotions, feelings, habit, relationships, creativity, even spirituality, the intuition, the sixth sense that we talk about. Sometimes we just know and we wonder why, you know. And there are times, you know, when we know or we are not able to do it, we beat ourselves up through the conscious mind. So now, why is this so important? Because what we're covering today, which is belief, comes from the subconscious mind. That's where it lies. So many times, we're not even aware of it. And it's ruling our world. It's ruling our personality. It's ruling our behavior. And we'll see how it does that. So let's understand a little more about subconscious mind. I'll just read through the next slide because it'll give us an idea as to how, the more I understand about the subconscious mind, how it communicates, because subconscious mind does not have a language. Language is a part of the conscious brain. Subconscious mind comes through images. There are flashes, you know, there are so many times we're able to see an image. There are times we're able to get an idea out of nowhere. That's where the subconscious is coming in. Music, you know, I don't know if many of us know, there are people who can't talk, can sing. And it was a wonder earlier that how can they sing when they can't talk? Because the singing has a rhythm which is coming from the subconscious mind and not the conscious mind. So let's understand some interesting facts. There are so many things. It records everything. It's a storehouse. It's always alert and awake. So even when I'm sleeping, my conscious mind is sleeping, but subconscious mind is registering everything. And that is the reason, you know, when there are times I'm just sleeping, I am in my deep sleep, but if there's a knock at the door or something, some movement happens outside, and if it's especially dangerous, my intuition or my subconscious mind will wake me up. Most important, controls 95% of our lives. I mean, isn't that interesting? 95% of our lives, and we're so dependent on 5% so-called our brain, our mind. And for me also, I mean, I've seen that the more we get experienced in this lifetime, knowledgeable, read books, join courses, I think our not for everyone, I'm speaking of myself, there are times I have to check myself and say, okay, not get too confident about the fact, oh, I know it. Because there's a major part which I'm still not aware of. The next point is a very important point because we'll be able to connect this later. It is built on habituation. And what is a habit? Something then done repeatedly becomes a habit. So anything that I would want to get into my subconscious mind, I need to remember, I need to do, perform over and over again. And of course, we understand practice makes a man perfect. We hear that often. It speaks to you in your dreams, no verbal language, and it takes in everything. Now, this is again a very important point. What does it mean when it takes in everything? It doesn't judge. So, if there is an information which is as per your conscious mind is wrong, it will not judge, it will take in. It doesn't have a sort of a filtration on its own. But of course, our conscious mind becomes a filtration. We can do a trillion things at times, multitasking. It's not logical, it's a feeling mind. That's where the emotions come. Sometimes we cry and sometimes we get hurt and we're like, why am I getting hurt? I know this person's going to, and I told myself I'm not going to get into it. I will not give in. And there you go, the 100th time you're crying again. And then you're beating yourself up for crying again. And the last one, of course, we've already talked about. It's way powerful than the conscious mind. I'm going to take a pause here and see if there is any question for me. I'm just looking at the window and see if there is a. You can just unmute yourself and talk.
Swati, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Shruti here. Who's this?
Sorry, Shrutee. Actually, from past 30 years, I'm very shy kid. I haven't written any one of the speeches. But past 1 year, I was a Toastmaster. When my friend and my mentor gives me a topic, I will write within 5 to 10 minutes as she gives the topic. And before, I was very scared of stages. But now I'm very excited to stand in front of many people. I love being standing in front of people and speaking. I won many awards for it. Can it be any past life talent, or it might be stored in my subconscious mind, that writing talent?
Well, that's where your conscious mind is asking, where is this coming from? Is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Well, it could be a combination of so many things. Over a period, we look at how, certain beliefs, even if I had a belief that, if I speak, I'm just making an example here, taking your story, your life story, that it could be, oh, I am shy and I can't speak. Yeah, there was a lot of beliefs you were holding on. Then life teaches you, there are experiences that happened, and your experiences helped you to change the belief where you're no longer shy. And because you did it once and you were rewarded for it, like you said, no Toastmasters, you got awards. That reinforced, and hence you started to do it, so it's become part of you. Now, it could have been coming from past life as well. It could have been just this lifetime. I think the matter is you're happy about what you're doing now.
Yeah, I will write within 5 to 10 minutes when my friend gives the topic. You should write on this topic. I will write within 5 to 10 minutes and send it to her.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
There's a new belief that has got formed. All right, Sri Lakshmi. Okay, so I'm going to go further and let's talk about belief. Here, I'm going to ask everyone, what's a belief? What do you understand by belief? Anyone can share. Just unmute and share. What is a belief? Let's do a little talk here. Anyone?
Our belief systems, the traditions, and the things that we blindly follow, that we've been brought up in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely, Ritu. Our environment creates the beliefs. Even the culture, like you said, that is where the belief comes from. Few of the places that we understand beliefs.
That could be very first do's and don'ts that those were fed into our brain.
Yes.
And we start to functioning in that way, certain ways.
Absolutely. So now the do's and don'ts that we tell ourselves and we start believing, and it's been fed. Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes.
Yes. Yachna.
Yeah. Sometimes beliefs come from our experiences also, because if 10 times I have seen this is happening with me, so I start believing it.
Absolutely. So हमारे lifetime के experiences होते हैं, and उसी को हम अगर बार-बार देखते हैं तो
it sets a pattern, then I start believing it.
Pattern. That's the catchword. Please remember pattern. We'll talk about that. Very good word. Thanks, Yachana.
There would be frameworks that we hold in our mind. There would be some concepts that we hold them to be true.
Oh, absolutely, Rahul. You're bang on. Frameworks and something that we hold on as true. That's another
self-righteousness. Is it?
Self-righteousness is part of the belief that I might have. Yes, absolutely, Maninder. I really like the word that the truth that we hold on to. So what's a belief? Belief comes from, let's just say, a thought that has been repeated over a period of time, so much so that it becomes my reality. Right. It becomes my truth. Nobody can fight it. I'll fight for it because it's so true for me. It may not be the truth, but it's my truth. That's the belief. A lot of us would have also read Secret or Law of Attraction, or maybe a believer of it, or even if you're not, the patterns, the thoughts that we start to think and start to believe over a period of time, what would happen? Those thoughts would be so close to us that my decisions in life would be made using that. That'll be a yardstick, no? Like Momita said, do's and don'ts. So I look at my do, whether I should do this, whether I should take decision, whether I should take this job, travel, marry, not marry, be in relationship, be a housewife, business, no business. None of these decisions of my life are getting based on these beliefs. And then if my life decisions are, so my life, where does it go? The direction comes from that. That means my life is actually getting formed by thoughts. And we've read that so many times. I mean, it's nothing new that we're coming at, right? Now, where do they come from? Ritu did talk a little about it. Anybody else wants to add, where are these beliefs coming from? Apart from, yes, the environment we grew up in, whether it's parental, school or culture, any more ideas where the beliefs come from? Where are these thoughts coming in from?
It could be it could be television.
Yes.
It could be media, what we read.
Yes.
Like something is shown on the news, like we believe what they are showing us, right?
True.
And over a period of time, when you watch the same thing, you start believing that it's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. It could also be the influence of the people around us.
Yes. Yes. Pallavi, you're absolutely right, but I'm going to leave you with a thought. You don't have to answer. There are so many people who see the media, watch the television over a period of time, but they'll still not believe it. Where's that coming from?
That is
food for thought. Food for thought, not just for Pallavi, but for everybody. You know, you'll have your answers.
Yeah. Probably there are certain things that come from a subconscious mind. There's something deep down.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we believe something that we want to believe.
And where does that come from?
Maybe that inclination comes from subconscious mind or our past experiences or people around us influence us.
Self-talk.
We are drawn to that kind of thing, then we start, we love that thing so much that we start believing it.
Okay, we will talk about it. Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of self-talk also that can create beliefs.
Yes, self-talk. So here's the thing. The self-talk is thoughts, is the thinking that's happening in the conscious mind. Where is that coming from?
Yes. Shruti, it is something like when you said you are not believing the media, that comes from our analytical mind. Am I right?
Absolutely.
You are thinking, we are processing everything. Then we see the other news also, and we are reading books also all over it. So all these things compile, and then our thought process decides that no, this is not to be believed.
Absolutely. But where is that analytical mind also coming from? We're going deeper and deeper and deeper.
Sorry, please go ahead.
Okay. So rightly said, Manvinder and Mamata both, they use the word subconscious mind. So of course, all these beliefs are coming from various sources. You know, there's said that, in psychology today, you are made. What you believe in is actually made by maximum 7 years of age. So you could be 60, 40, 52, 30. Most of you, how you think, how you behave, what is right, what is wrong, your personality's foundation in this lifetime has been made by 7 years. So imagine how important it is, those formative years. And so, as adults, so many times we feel, "Bachche ko kya pata chalta hai?" Their subconscious is grasping so many things. So that's one part. In this lifetime, yes, that's why they say what you say around kids, how you talk to them, how you behave. They'll not listen to what you're saying. They'll just watch, observe, and follow you. So in this lifetime, absolutely right, all of you have said it comes from parents, school, environment, people around, TV, your subconscious mind, which means what? And this is very important to understand. There are so many beliefs not coming from this costume of Shruti. As a soul, I've lived so many lifetimes. They may be coming from other lifetimes. That is why so many things that we can do at the conscious level, understand it, but we're still stuck. Yeah. We are lucky. I mean, that's what I'm assuming for all 45 of us, that we are all believers of, life beyond conscious. So it's easy to understand. But when I'm talking to people who are non-believers or who don't believe in this world, it's a little difficult. It's like, no, only this lifetime. So it's easy. I'm going to just open my presentation, go back to it. So that whatever we've talked about, we just kind of look at it to us. And then we continue. Okay. So this is where we were. I'm going to continue. So we've spoken about what is a belief. And you can see there is also the definition I put for people who probably would be interested in the dictionary definition, which says an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. It's my personal truth. Trust, faith, and confidence. So whatever I believe in that comes from within, no matter, there are times when people can give me all proof not to believe it, I'll still stick around. For good or for better or for worse. These things are really important to understand at the conscious level, because later on we'll be looking at what's your belief. What are the beliefs that are working? What are the beliefs that are not working? How do you change them? Okay, so we talked about repeated thoughts. For the people who understand the language of vibrations, whatever you keep thinking, you create a vibration and you attract that more. That's why the belief gets reinforced. If I believe I am good at writing, I'm creating that belief and creating vibrations. So that's why, Sri Lakshmi said that now I can write in 5 minutes. Give me any topic, because it's a belief. And that creates reality around her. And then it keeps reinforcing. So it's your truth, conviction, trust. We've spoken about it. What are the sources? Childhood, parental, school, cultural experiences. Somebody mentioned that as well, events. And the most important that I said, not to forget your past lives. In your soul journey, there are a lot of beliefs that are coming from there. And then in the right, you have other, cultural. I'm not going to get into that details. We all understand where they're coming from, and that's most important. Now, what is the role of belief? Why are we talking, belief is so important? It is the foundation of who we are. And how's that? Let's try and understand a little bit of link, and then we move forward to really understanding our beliefs. So do you see this picture? It's like at root, there's beliefs. That's the core. And what are beliefs? We said, my truth. Conviction, something that I believe in, trust, and have conviction in. And when all of this is put together, set of beliefs forms values. So now, what does value do? Value decides what choices I make. Why? Because that's important to me. For example, I'm an honest person. That would then affect my attitude. What's my attitude? Attitude is sum of values. It's basically the mindset. So I'm an honest person. There's a bag lying with 2 lakhs and somebody forgot and no one's around. The mindset would be not to pick it up, because I'm driven by what I believe in, what my value system is. And hence the behavior. My action would be to pick it up, and if I'm in a school or just take it to a place and declare it that someone's left it, how can someone get it, and figure out ways to. So now, if you go reverse, there are certain things in my behavior that I'm not happy about. I don't exercise. I'm not happy about that. It's very simple, very common. I understand. Intellectually, I understand everything. But I keep failing. Why? So rather than just looking at the surface and starting to feel like a failure or only compare, after a while, if I have a behavior that I don't like, chances are, What chances? Definitely it'll give me frustration. It'll not give me a great feeling. And then when I see others, there are times when, when your behavior is not matching to your own expectations, you see it in others, you can, of course, get motivated, appreciate it, or you can also get jealous. Or also you would like to pull certain people down. So all these behavior and the way I'm thinking, and of course the behavior put together becomes your personality and your identity. So let's just look at, in catchwords, what I just spoke about. Your truth, conviction, values, what is important to you, your mindset, and then of course how do you conduct yourself? What are your actions? Yeah. If my belief is that I am, we will cover that later. Just pause here and see if any questions are around this. Are you able to understand how belief gets connected to our personality and our behavior, how we react to certain things? Because that's where we'll start with. We may start with the surface, but we'll go down.
So,
okay. Yes,
in a
yes.
way, say that behavior is a reflection of the collection of attitude, values,
Yes,
and beliefs.
absolutely,
Am I right?
absolutely. And if we don't want to complicate things, we can, step by step, but look at the belief. And we look at how, one of the ways I'll tell you how to, there's so many ways to look at it. Okay. So now we remember this. And we said the conscious mind is 10%, subconscious mind, major part, and that's where the beliefs are. Now, there are two types of beliefs to simplify things: positive, and then there is negative or the limiting belief. Of course, there are good things about us. But today, the focus, positives, we're already happy about. We're here to focus on what are some of the things that are not working for me? How can I work on that? That's why we'll focus on the so-called negative, but limiting is a better word. That's why I'm going to use limiting belief. Okay. So let's look how to find that limiting belief. You see the person change those limiting beliefs. And the interesting bit is, so many times we're not even aware how chained we are with these beliefs. We're like slaves to it. And we're not aware. And we accept that's it. There's no way I can be free. We've stayed there for so long. But the good news is, once you start to know, I mean, it can take a while. It's something that you invest in yourself. It's worth getting the freedom of it. Okay. Now, in the previous slide, we talk about belief, values, attitudes, and behavior. We're going to look at that again. And now we're going to focus on something which is very important, something we all are aware of it, go through it, but we also tend to label it. And we today will discover that whatever we're thinking is a foe, is something we hate, is something we want to get rid of, is actually your friend. It's the blessing in disguise. And that's what we'll see. Okay. So we saw in the center, if you can see, it's belief. So we're going to take core, and that's why we're focusing on. Okay, led to values, and basis values. This, I'm going to, people, if it's not very clear, says emotions and feelings. Now imagine the way you're believing is leading to your emotions and feelings, which led to attitude and behavior. So to get to the belief, the easiest way is look at your feelings and emotions. And if you remember, feelings and emotions come from where? Anyone, unmute to tell. Where does feelings and emotions come from?
As you said,
subconscious mind.
Yeah, subconscious.
And our beliefs were in the subconscious mind. And it is not easy through our conscious mind to get to the subconscious mind. So the connecting link is feelings and emotions. So whatever you're feeling, rather than labeling, and of course, like I said, we're only focusing on not so good emotions, so-called negative emotions. We're not focusing on the happy ones right now. So-called feeling and emotions, rather than with the conscious mind trying to suppress it, escape it, it's your subconscious mind talking to you, which is 90%, which is 95% of you. And it's saying, knocking on the door, saying, hey, listen to me, it hurts, just take care of me, put bandage and I'll be fine. And what do? We ignore. And the wound starts to get bigger and bigger, and we wonder, and we start to really, many of us go into self-beating mode. You know, the conscious, I understand, why am I not doing it? Why am I not exercising? I'll do it from tomorrow. This diet, that diet doesn't work, because of the subconscious mind. It's telling you to heal. If you heal that, you don't have to do anything. Everything will be effortlessly. And that's what we also talk in spirituality, no? Moving from effort to effortlessness. So what feelings and emotions we're talking about? The unhappy ones, where you're frustrated, things that makes you upset. Yeah. And the moment, so next time I'm going through certain not so happy emotions, feeling agitated or angry, sometimes I'll be able to do it then. Sometimes it's just a matter of practice. Sometimes it's a good idea to come back and sit down and say, okay, this is what I felt. So many times we're not even honest to our own emotions. We've started to put layers and layers and escaping. And see, when I use the word escaping, I have nothing against it. Sometimes you need to divert from it. But if done over a longer period of time, you're running away. And then there is a gap between what you desire and what you are. And that's when, you know, if you're not letting your emotions, that there are, you know, in extreme cases, people become so numb to their emotions that it's very difficult to get through to them because they've been escaping it. You know, your subconscious, well, not really, but just to understand in simple words, starts to also shut down. You know, have you seen, all of us have intuition. Some have higher intuition, some start to, because they've escaped intuition, you know, the subconscious is, this person doesn't listen. I'm not going to help this person. Just, you know, think of someone, if you have a friend, you're always pushing that person away, how long the person will come. But of course, subconscious is like our best friend, it'll still try to come. So watch out for your emotions and feelings, especially the so-called negative ones. Okay. Now getting a little deeper into it. So, you know, remember how the tree is? Tree has branches and it has root. So even getting to the belief, the limiting belief that we are talking about, which stops you from growing, there are a lot of surface beliefs, which are also good indications. See, if you're starting your journey, it's good to even know surface, even if you can get to that. Sometimes in the starting journey, it'll be good to just say, what am I feeling? What am I truly feeling? What do I really want? So there are surface feelings, and then there is something at the root. Yeah. So I've just written some examples. So for examples, I've written for the surface, you might just have this feeling because I can never get what I want. Yeah. Or it could say just my friends always use me like a doormat. Or I never get the money I deserve. Yeah. And at the root, it could be as simple as I'm not important. Because I'm not important, I'll see these things, I'll see these beliefs, I'll see people walking away, and sometimes I'll get so stuck and say, this person's not right, that person. But if you see the patterns, okay, sometimes, of course, you know, it couldn't be your own belief, it's just an experience. But if we go back to the word pattern, over and over, repeated pattern is something to look at our own core belief. Now, just to give you a glimpse, I'm going to stop sharing this for a bit. And let's do a little bit of, has it stopped? Yes, it stopped. So just let's try to get in touch with our emotions. So what we'll do, people who want to participate, feel free to. You close your eyes, keep your pens and papers aside. Take a deep breath in and let go. Take another deep breath in and let go. Allow your body, your mind, your aura to completely relax. From the top of your head to the tip of your toe. One last time. Take a deep breath in and let go. So now, just for a little bit, we will try and communicate with our subconscious. There might have been times you have communicated, you're still communicating, or for some of us it could be that we haven't communicated with our own subconscious mind in a while. So just trust the process. You'll tell your conscious mind, right now, you can just take it easy. You do a lot of work, you did a lot of work even today, but let it just go. You just sit in one corner and relax. And I'm going to talk to my subconscious mind. And as I keep this intent, I'm completely relaxed. Nothing to do, nothing to worry. It just flows. The more I let go, the more it flows. So I take another deep breath in and let go. So I try and communicate with the subconscious, or rather communicate with the subconscious today through my own feelings and emotions. So pick up an incident, something that just happened maybe an hour back, 2 hours back, in the morning, but a recent event that made you get upset. Now that upset emotion could be frustration, anger, depression, loneliness, hurt, could be any. And again, you just take it easy. You don't have to worry too much. When you let your subconscious do the work, it just flows. That is the beauty of it. You can just sit and relax, and the incident will automatically come up. And even if it doesn't, that's fine too. You can just sit and relax. And you can tell your subconscious mind that maybe in the past, I haven't been very attentive, very present to you. But I promise that from now on, I will let you talk to me more, and I will. And if the event has come, just see, just hear, just feel what you felt at that moment. See what you saw, Hear what you heard. Feel what you felt at that moment. Let that emotion surge. Let it come to the surface. And if you can, let it flow. If the sinking comes up, that's okay. That's a beautiful sign. Your subconscious is willing to talk to you. If the heartbeat happens, thumping of the heart happens, or little tears may come, that's a brilliant sign. You let that flow and identify that emotion. And thank the subconscious. And even if you're not able to, still thank yourself, thank the process, thank the subconscious for being part of it. Because so many times, what we don't understand is that there is a lot that happens at a deeper level, which I may not be able to understand right now. And as we looked at it, you only understand 5%, and that should be okay. And as you're living this emotion, ask the subconscious to event that made you feel the same way years back, maybe in your childhood, maybe when you were a little baby, maybe when you were 2-year-old. And the beauty is the subconscious will flash an event. Don't analyze it. It may show you as a picture. It may give you some thoughts, or it may also just intensify the emotion. And like I said, that's an amazing sign. Let the tears fall. Don't hold back. This is a beautiful journey. And you're here to honor yourself, honor your own emotions, and honor that little friend that's always there with you. Now, as you're going through those emotions, and you may or may not have seen the event, trusting the subconscious, knowing the power of the subconscious, ask the subconscious, what is my belief in it? What do I believe that has made me go through this emotion, experiences over and over again? Again, you're not in a rush. Take it easy and then let it flash, let it flow. You could see something, you could hear, you could feel. It's okay, even if the belief does not surface, whatever does, it's a great sign. And if the belief does, it'll sound like I am, you start with I am. And whatever comes to you after I am, with the image, without the image, seeing something, not seeing something, you just acknowledge that. And you just remember it. Now, let us thank the subconscious Let us thank ourselves. And let us thank this process. And while thanking, I take a deep breath in and let go. I take another deep breath in and let go. Taking the breath one last time, deep breath, breathe in and let go. And as and when you feel comfortable, taking your own sweet time, please don't rush. Please don't rush back. Gently open your eyes. So this one was like a tiny little bit, very little bit experience. So anyone had anything to share? Any belief that came? Great, Sri Lakshmi. And you don't have to speak if you don't want to. You can write it down, you can talk it later. Absolutely your own journey. But anyone wants to share any belief that came up? Or any emotion? Anything about what you want to share?
So it's about the things going on right now in my life. Like my son is at a stage like he's in 12th and undergoing so many pressures of academics and entrances and all. So since a year and because of COVID situation,
Yeah, it's tougher.
It's very tough, I would say.
Okay.
He had been an angel, like a very, very balanced child. And unlike any teenager of his age, but since a year he has been like, I feel, you can call it a belief that he has been using me as a punching bag, venting out frustrations, anger, which he cannot share with anyone. And since 1 or 2 months, it's getting too much for me to hold it, unable to bear it. So I'm also kind of getting it, it's getting too much for me now to hold it, and just waiting for that 1 month to go when he'll be free of these frustrations, when everything is over, when he'll settle down in his life in another month or so, hopefully. So I felt that he's using me as a resting bed, not as a punching bag, resting bed, where kind of finding his solace in me, and I should absorb it. I should completely openly absorb whatever he is giving me. Child, he does not have that wisdom, or maybe even if he has it, he cannot apply it. But I should be with him. I have been, but now because it's getting too much for me to bear. So just 1 month to go, and I keep absorbing his whatever vibrations he is giving to me.
Yashna, I'm gonna pause, and I would probably interrupt here because I'm a little conscious of the time. It's a beautiful experience. Whatever we experience is amazing. Can I take this as an example and tell you what went and how can we, what are some of the things that came to the surface? Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
So till the time I was feeling the emotions that she was a punching bag and all of that, I'm doing great. That's where we need to go, right? Again, I'm using the word need to go just for the awareness how it works. See, it's a very limited time. Like I said, it's a tiny little bit taste that I wanted to give. The moment I started to justify, he's arresting, that's when your conscious mind is playing. You were going great with the emotions, you were living the emotions, we wanted to get to the belief. For example, the belief could be, I'm not important. See, anybody can walk, even if it's in my son. See, the conditioning is, of course, because it's a child, it'll be very difficult because you're like, immediately that's when it's like take a U-turn. The conscious mind takes over because
Absolutely.
we have trained the conscious mind so many times.
I'm trying to justify his actions somehow.
Exactly. And that's okay. Getting aware of this is also powerful. Because we, like I said at the beginning, not for you, Yachna, but for many of us, including me, we've trained ourselves and for our own good. See, we are not going to say it's right or wrong. This is how it is. That's how we survived, maybe. That was the need of the hour.
Right.
So the moment we were getting to the belief, when we were getting to the point where deep inside, what's my emotion? How do I feel? One of the core could have come, I'm not important. And that hurts. And I don't want to go there. It's like a little baby, I'm protecting myself. I don't want to go to the dark side. That's what also we call as shadow work in psychology.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
So but thank you so much, Ashna, because you shared. Only because you shared, I could give an example here. Khushbu, I read your message and it says that you slept, and it's not bad. You don't have to feel sorry. That's a very good sign. That means your conscious mind shut down. And we want the conscious mind to shut down. And don't worry, process would happen even at the subconscious level. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to go back. This was just a glimpse as to how we can get to it through touching upon our subconscious mind. We'll also look at, why don't you show your face, Khushbu, so that we can see you blushing as well. I'm going to go back to the screen share and tell you where this was. Okay, we had done this, right? Now, how to change? We saw a little bit. We were trying to get to how to, my internet connection is showing unstable. My screen's getting frozen. Can everyone hear me at least? Then I'll continue. I don't know, my screen's frozen.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So at least my voice is reaching. Let me just continue. So, okay, participant can now see you. Okay, right. So how do you change belief? 2 ways. Okay, why 2 ways? One is the conscious, the 10% part. Remember the beginning? The 10% conscious part. There are ways I can change at the conscious level. You know how? Writing, introspecting. So earlier I talked about if something happened, come back, write it down. If you felt, what did it lead to? There are different ways. We're not touching upon those, just introducing you. There are different ways to get to that. Coaching, there are people who can help you. Then there is the subconscious mind. So many, ma'am does, apart from so many things, she does past life regression. Most of the therapists just go directly to the subconscious. When we talk about altered state, what is altered state? They're bypassing your conscious mind, because the chances are conscious mind, with all due respect, with all good intention, it blocks. Doesn't let us. We just saw an example of Yachna, right? How conscious mind took over. And that's okay. We're just getting to see it. That's how we learn. So subconscious, there are various ways. Regression, subliminal messages, TVs and do that. Binaural beats, music is another way. Various programming, and 2 of the things which ma'am also talked about the introduction. I often not
Your voice is breaking.
That it is showing. Should I'll probably check my video. Let me try doing, because that might help. Just let me know when it isn't breaking. Please do let me know. Is this?
It's okay now. It's okay now.
Yeah. So video takes a lot of, and I'm in a remote Tamil Nadu area, in a remote village. I've been traveling. So I was to be in Bangalore and take this this session, but somehow I plan to stay. So that could be it. So great. Now you can hear. I'm going to continue. Now, I just gave you a little glimpse of subconscious, right? I'll talk about it because I'm conscious of the time of a conscious way of changing it. Okay? Next slide. First, identify the core limiting belief. How do we get to that? One of the ways is to ask yourself. So, of course, I talked about quickest way is to know your emotions, feelings, right? So one of the ways is to ask yourself, what upsets me? And why does this upset me? And you can pick up any, okay, let me quickly give you an example. Let's say I get very upset if I get criticized at work. My boss criticizes me or even my colleague for work. So that's a good start. Ask, why do I get upset when my boss or X person criticizes? Oh, well, because it shows that something's wrong. Then why do I get upset if they show me what's wrong? Oh, well, that makes me feel that I am stupid and I'm dumb. Okay. Then why does that upset me if I'm dumb? Why can't I accept the fact that I could be dumb as well? Because that makes me feel that I'm a failure. Ah. And why does being a failure upset you? Because I'm never good enough. Now, of course, I've made it very easy just to get to that so that I just give you a little example. Now, I'm never good enough could be the root belief. So what we're doing, we're basically getting it to the surface. And the moment we get to the surface, the next one is identify the payoff. Why am I sticking? See, there are many times I could say that I want to exercise, I want to be fit, but I am sticking on to not doing that exercise. There is some emotional attachment, some gain I'm getting by not doing that, by not exercising, by not keeping fit. Maybe my payoff is then I'm taken care of. You know, my husband takes me, I fall sick, he takes care of me, or he keeps coming to me and keeps showing interest. He says, you know, you should get up. And I feel very cared. There seems to be a concern. That could be a great payoff. The next one.
Lost you again.
Yeah, I lost everything. One sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Is that Prashant who's helping? Sanjeev who's helping me?
Yes, Sanjeev Parashar.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you for, because I can't see anything except for my own slide on the computer. But so the chances are that if my husband's taking care of me, it's a very nice, cozy feeling. He comes and says these things that makes me feel so special. I will not change that belief. Then let's create the new belief. I'm never good enough. Just write, I'm worthy. Okay. And then start looking at the examples in life currently, previous, any events where you're good. It could be like Sri Lakshmi gave an example, I'm good at writing. Start with that. You know, people talk about affirmations, which are really good because they talk about, oh, I am good, I'm complete, I can do it. It's a great way, but suddenly you believe I'm not good enough. There are so many lifetimes or childhood, so many events that has made it so strong. Immediately to say I am good or I'm not shy or I'm not nervous will seem like a lie. There'll be a lot of conflict, and that's where a lot of people are not able to break through affirmations. And affirmations can do a lot of things, but they don't understand and they feel no, it doesn't work. So now, when you create a new belief, you can look for new belief evidences. Like I said, look for success rate where you found that I am good. It could be as simple as, you know, I can make up my bed very neatly, or I'm organized. Start with little beliefs. areas that are, and focus on that. And that's when the incremental affirmations would lead you to places and bigger ways where it's not just the small little things, but the bigger decisions are also starting to get effective. It's just like building a muscle we talk about. You can't build a muscle by going to the gym just once. It's a habit and a pattern that you create. And when you're able to create the new pattern, also reward yourself. You know, that really works. The rewards could be different for different people. Since I picked up an example of a gym, and since I'm a girl, I can probably talk about a lot of women out there. When you're fit, you can get into the type of dress you want. And that could be a reward that you can give. And then reinforce the belief. Now, this one is, there are different ways. This is just a conscious ways, certain steps that might just help you. Of course, it is not as easy as it looks. I mean, there is a lot of work that goes in, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of the subconscious and also the conscious steps to change a belief. And what I'll do, I'm going to just probably other questions, or it's 9:15 by now. Any questions? Or any? Yes, Shelina.
Ma'am, now my core belief is I cannot drive car.
Is that your core belief?
No, I can't. I can drive the car, but I get scared and I give up very quickly.
Okay.
So how do I can you help me to what could be my payoff? How could I change to a new belief? How could I empower myself in driving a car?
Right. So you're saying you can drive a car, but you get scared.
Yes.
And that's when you stop driving.
It's like I feel overwhelmed. I feel I'm getting a nervous wreck, I'm getting a headache. So for me, it's easier to take the auto and go, So why get into this headache and why get stress? And it's better somebody drives me,
Yeah.
So how do I change this pattern of mine?
Okay. Why do you want to change this pattern? I'll ask you this question. Why do you want to change this pattern?
So many times, like if we have gone on a long drive, and my husband, he sometimes gets neck pain. So I feel that if I could contribute, if I could just tell him that I will drive, you sit. Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, I heard.
So
So
when
we just lost you for a bit, but it came back.
Yeah, so I can help him, in long drives or somewhere. Sometimes an emergency if he's not around and if I have to take the car. So I do want to drive, but I feel scared.
Okay. So what I hear, Shelina, is that you want to drive because the reason, if I go beyond the surface for driving, is being able to contribute and help your husband.
Yeah, sometimes he gets a lot of neck pain. So I feel if I can just take off the burden little,
Right. So I also hear, if I can take off his burden. Now tell me, I would want to ask you, give me areas of your life. It could be areas of your life. It could be events now, in the past. Just give me a few examples where you have helped him. You've contributed in his life, taken off his burden.
I have always given him space. I have always allowed him to do things which he always wanted to do.
Give me specific, and it could be from today. Think of specific things, some tangible things that you've done today, or you've done in the past 1 week, 10 days, years for that matter, that comes to your mind right now, where you feel you've contributed to his life.
Immensely, I have contributed, and
I'm sure. I'm not doubting.
And he appreciates that.
I'm sure. Not doubting that.
Yeah.
But just give me one example that comes to you right now, which is specific.
I did take a step back from my career when he was totally caught up in many things.
Okay.
So home front I was taking care of, and if I was also if I would be in my career as well, then it would be very difficult to handle my child.
Okay, great.
So I had taken a step back.
Okay. So when
and he appreciates that.
Great. So you took a step back. You actually helped your husband and took the burden off. I mean, if you were working, then a lot of burden would have been on your husband. And that was your way of contributing. Now we'll leave the husband aside. Okay. And I'm going to come to you, Shailina. How did you feel, or how do you feel by taking a step back from your career? And this is the time to be honest to yourself. It's not for us.
I was quite relieved as well.
Okay. How much percentage was relieved? Were there any other emotions?
Because then I was a full-time mom and I could concentrate on my daughter at that time. But yes, there was this identity crisis as well at the back of my mind.
Okay. So when you say identity crisis, can you just share a few emotions, feelings that you associate with identity crisis? And you can take your time to, I mean, when I say take your time, just go back, try be. How many years was this back?
10.
Yeah, so 10 years back, what were, maybe not 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, 5 years.
Okay.
What is the identity crisis emotions? How do you say this is? Give me some examples. What does identity crisis mean to you? Let's say I don't know identity crisis. How would Shalina tell me what is identity crisis? How does it look in a day-to-day life? What are the emotions around it?
Try to compensate that by being extremely people-pleasing, extremely good, because somewhere you are not doing what you are doing and you try to find attention.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you there, Shalina. This is getting very general. You here say in I, and I just want to not, so of course, what you're saying is absolutely, I understand, you must have gone through, I'm not denying it, but I want you to come step back.
Okay.
Not go that far. And it's not about anybody else.
Okay,
and I must give you, you're one courageous woman who's talking about this in a forum like this. Shows a lot of strength you have to be able to be even aware of things that you're talking about. So I want you to listen to this and tell me, what does identity crisis mean to you? What were the beliefs? What were the emotions? What did it feel every day to not?
No, I was not feeling. There was a lack of self-worth.
Yeah. All right. In the the interest of time, I'm sure, Shelya, you got an idea as to how we are getting to where I'm getting to.
Yes,
It's
yes.
for everybody as well. And we can go further, but I'm going to stop here right now. You talked about self-worth, right? So this is where your area of work lies in. There is somewhere the self-worth that I'm not worthy is playing a very important part in your life. Because I'm not worthy, it can come in different forms. That's why I would want to really go out of the way at times, or like I said, people pleasing, and do things. So driving is on the surface.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's thanks to that. It is taking you down the lane where I'm not worthy. Now, if you work on this, you also see, when I asked you, how have you contributed? Of course, you said, today I made my husband beautiful dinner. The fact that I dressed up today and felt nice. There could be so many examples, right? I'm not worthy is one of the core beliefs that most of us have. And understand one thing, it'll not go overnight. And it'll not just play. You know, the more we'll heal, the deeper it gets. There could be other layers of I'm not worthy will come. You know, generally, this is for everybody. The beliefs would be generally, very simple ones. They're not too complicated. It's like, I'm not important. I'm unlovable. I'm not enough. I'm not perfect. A lot of charge and stuckedness with perfection also comes. I always, I never, I am. These are great indicators of belief. Yeah, so should we stop now? I know I've, sorry ma'am, I think I've taken 15 minutes extra.
No, it's fine, absolutely fine. I think everybody got a lot of information and also how to get to the root of the beliefs that we hold. And you're right when you say that worthiness is the most important aspect that we have to look at in life. Wonderful, Shruti. Very nice. Any last words, Shruti, before?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Sure. I'll probably take a minute and just wind up. So apart from the thank yous, which is of course this platform, and thank you everyone who's just been around and giving me the opportunity to share whatever little I could. And I just want to share that, believe me, I just touched because my purpose is, even in your day-to-day life, at the conscious level, you could start to just observe a little about yourself and just be aware that everything's coming from within and your own ways. If you're starting a journey, it could be just observing your emotion. But one request, if you want to just thank me, don't ever go in the direction of I can't do this or beat yourself up. Whatever you do, even if out of 100 days you're able to look at yourself and say, hey, today I noticed I was feeling hurt. Just appreciate that. And belief is I. So every time you see your direction going to the other person, bring it back. What do I feel? What do I feel today? What am I feeling right now? That could be a good start. And then if you want to go further, there are ways like, there are therapists, there are healers, there are coaches. There's no end to it. So I just say all the best to everyone here.
Thank you so much, Shruti. It was wonderful. I'm sure everybody
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity.
And I loved you did everything stepwise so that you can understand. And I think that was a very good thing to do. So yeah, so our Thinking Thursday has now become kind of really, people look forward to attending it every Thursday, and I think we've sustained it for so many months.
Yeah.
All thanks to everyone, really. It's not easy, But yeah, it's been a wonderful journey for everybody. So
I'm sorry, one thought just came. One thought came.
yeah.
I'm just going to say that I'm happy. See, this is just the beginning. I'm happy to take more sessions.
Yes.
You know, where we could take one, maybe just experiential, and then take it further. So I'm open to that.
Definitely, Shruti. I'm also open to you coming again, and everybody else too.
Thank you.
I would.
Thank you. So, what is the reaction we give for this talk? Come on, everybody.
Let me also give you.
Yes.
I learn as much as you do. I was also the student here.
Sorry, I don't know, but I can just make a heart.
Oh, that's cute.
I loved it.
That's the heart.
I loved it.
Lovely.